thought it would be a great idea if we use the gluten-free pizza dough to make something French inspired called a galette, usually made with caramelized onions and a little bit of cheese on top. But today we'll just use the caramelized onion and keep it a vegan treasure. So here we go. We'll start out by cutting our onion into thin slices. And as you can see, I haven't peeled it yet. And speed is important when you're working with onions. So now I take out the outer skin, leave the cut side down. I'm using a smaller knife to cut small segments, small slices. I'm going to let the onion do the work for me. We can stack these back up and slice them again. Oniony! Take a pat of butter. We'll add it to our pan. And we'll also use a little bit of olive oil. We'll add half of our onions. We don't want to crowd our pan. And we'll let those caramelize. Let's add a little salt and pepper. Adding a little bit more mineral content using Balinese salt. Let's have a little pepper. And my secret ingredient is a little bit of cinnamon. I love my cinnamon and it takes your food to the next level. Oh yeah, that looks good. Ah, it smells great. Okay, a little bit longer. Since we're using electric, I'll turn the heat up a little bit more and keep the caramelization happening. See, there's a good amount of butter and olive oil. Loosen them up, and then you can give them a good pull. Okay, they're even sticking for me. Ooh, look how dark they are. All right, let's take the pan. We'll continue to cook the onions, and we'll get the dough ready to make the pizza. Let's turn on the oven. Okay, so while our onions are caramelizing, I'm looking at the dough again, our gluten-free pizza dough, and I want to feel it. It's starting to increase inside. However, it looks a little moist. Take a look at it, everyone. Take a look at it. See how moist it is. It's not created enough heat, so I'll need to put it in a warm location and cover it with a towel. So create a little more heat so our yeast doesn't die. So I've got a little olive oil on my hands. I'm pressing them out to make our pizza dough, keeping it a little bit bubbly to absorb any flavor, such as cheese or tomato sauce. Okay, it's kind of thick, but it's going to dry out too much. You know, I don't like it too crunchy. I don't want it to be too crispy because that will be the downfall of your gluten-free pizza. All right. Just before it goes into the oven, I'm going to hit it with a little heavy-duty cinnamon, especially these places that are absent of onion. The better quality cinnamon is a little bit darker. It's richer in color and flavor, and it comes from Madagascar. Let's put this in the oven now. Low rack so that it gets crispier on the bottom. 450 degrees.
How do I find out what this feeling's all about? When I hang around you, I just feel like I'm alive. How do I find out what this feeling's all about? When I hang around you, I just feel like I'm alive. Could you be the one that I want? Could you be the one that I need? Could you be the one that I love? Could you be the one that will let me be me?
This family owns and operates the Natural Food Works. How long have you been open?
Well, the restaurant's been here about 9 years, and it's been entirely gluten-free the whole time. The Natural Food Works itself, the business name, is about 40 years old. But the food preparation part and the gluten-free food is about 9 years.
Can you tell us a little bit about Natural Food Works?
Well, Natural Food Works is an old store that was founded in 1971, and it was originally a food store, evolved into a health food store. And I acquired it in 1997, and I found myself talking to people about their health a lot. And I found that a lot of people's health issues resolved when they tried a gluten-free diet. I was astounded. It was kind of like a little R&D project for me, because I would say, maybe this will help your constipation, maybe this will help your depression, maybe this will help your child's ADD, maybe this will help your chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, and I just watched it happen, bing, 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 bing. So the store moved over here, and there was a restaurant next door. When they went under, we took it over with the idea that we would start making really good gluten-free food, because there's two stages. One is you understand your problem, the other is you implement the solution. And the solution needs to be good food, not just rice crackers.
Thank you for mentioning that. So many people just go to the prepackaged products that are out there right now that have gluten-free stamped on the label. However, I love your philosophy of talking about natural whole food. And you mentioned that you have all fresh organic eggs and products that you use. Right. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, it's been sort of gluten-free, casein-free is very important to us. We're now very interested in not using refined sugar, because we're starting to understand how powerful that is to make people healthy. But I am a big believer in, the local and fresh, really locally sourced, really living foods, not processed. So our signage says, remember real food? And I'm kind of convinced that people of a certain age may not actually have had the opportunity to even experience it, let alone remember it.
And are you using any sort of amaranth?
No, we don't use any exotic grains. Most of our bread and other things are made with locally grown whole grain brown rice flour, because that's what grows here, and that's what's freshest, and that's what's best. This is what we found works really awesome. So
this is really beautiful. Now, what kind of pasta do you have here?
This is the linguine. We also do fettuccine, lasagna, and we sell a ton of gluten-free ravioli. Some of them made to the recipe of my mother-in-law, who was, her family was really good.
What else would you like the community to know about the Natural Food Works?
I want them to know that when people eat our bread, they say, oh my God, this is real bread. And when they try our pasta, they say, oh my God, this is better than real pasta. We really make good food.
It's not about living without, but using ingredients to create a harmonious life. I'm Veda Flores, a holistic nutritional educator, interested in keeping you healthy. Your outward appearance of size and shape is up to you. However, let me direct your group or class to a diet that best serves the inner you, focusing on top allergens that cause GI imbalance, such as gluten, casein, oxalate, complex carbohydrates, salicylates, or phenols. Together, let's turn your ideas into actions.
This is Veda Flores. I'm with the Veda Nutrition Show. I'm here today in the kitchen of Il David Restaurant, located on A Street in San Rafael, California. Visiting with chef and owner David Hayden.
Today we're making a gluten-free pasta made with an imported pasta rice, not wheat. We're doing basically a penne arugula. You could do this at home. Like I said, the ingredients again, you have, I'll start one at a time here. First of all, I get a pan over a medium heat to high heat. Oil, extra virgin olive oil, some minced garlic, some crushed red pepper, some oven-dried tomatoes, a little fresh basil, some arugula, a marinara sauce, some toasted leeks, some oven-dried cherry tomatoes, and also some shaved Asiago, some butter and cream, and of course the penne.
This is beautiful pasta. Tell me a little bit about this pasta. Where are you buying it from?
Northern Italy. The name of it is Rusticella di Abruzzo, which is a really famous pasta company, very high-end pasta company in Italy.
And where can the home chef buy something like this?
I've seen it at Dina De Luca and A.G. Ferrari and Molly Stone's.
This is a beautiful pasta. It's made with white rice and really has a translucent quality to it. So why did you choose this pasta over other gluten-free pastas?
Just like the way it holds up and the way it looks after it's cooked. It's presented really well, and it holds the flavor and the sauce. Mm-hmm. All right, some pastas don't hold the sauce as well. I love this pasta because it has little ridges on the side of it, so you can tell, and it really collects the sauce on the side of the pasta after it's cooked.
Gluten-free is very popular these days. Can you tell me a little bit about your gluten-free clientele?
Well, there's been some food allergies that have come up in the last couple of years that I've noticed, and I've sort of I pay attention to when somebody asks me, or somebody comes to the restaurant and says I'm allergic to this and that, and we make everything to order. Heat that up a bit. I'm gonna add some minced garlic to that, about a tablespoon and a half. Some crushed red chili flake, a little bit. I'm not going to frazzle it too much to burn it because it will create a bitter taste. We'll let that cook down on just a second. Get the acid is exuding from the garlic. I'm going to add an oven-dried tomato. This is a julienne chopped tomato here. I'm going to add a little bit of butter just to get that flavor of butter in there. I love that.
Tell me a little bit about the combination of butter and olive oil.
Well, butter and olive oil is it's the best of both worlds. That's what I consider. I mean, if you ever put a little butter on toast and just some extra virgin olive oil on top, I mean, it's like bruschetta. I mean, it's just so great. It doesn't get any better than that. So the combination of the two really enhance the flavor of the dish, especially when we're working with the gluten-free thing. I'm going to add a little bit of arugula and some basil. Saute it up a little bit, and then a little bit of marinara sauce. Alright, let that heat up to medium heat. A little kosher salt, some black pepper, freshly ground black pepper, and then just a touch of cream, maybe about 3 tablespoons, just to give it some color, balance out the acids in the dish itself from the tomato. The marinara sauce that I put in here, basically I made it beforehand, and that's another demo, which I can show you later, but basically it's whole canned tomatoes. We use canned tomatoes in the marinara sauce, and any restaurant that makes their marinara sauce with real tomatoes, if they tell you that, they're lying. Okay, we use a San Marzano tomato, which is fabulous. It's from Vesuvius, from the volcanic soil, southern Italy, and they're all designated grown in that region by law, so we use the best. And it really gives it's a low acid tomato. It gives out tons of flavor. So there you go. I'm going to add that. Now I'm going to add my cooked gluten-free penne to the pasta water for about 2 seconds just to heat that up.
And it looks like you've cooked that.
Yeah, I've cooked it for about 7 minutes. And actually the pasta water will thicken up the sauce as well from the starches exuded from the rice. So there we go, beautiful. I'm going to mix that up a little bit, get the sauce collected within the tubes here, and get a nice color on it. Okay, then I basically top it with a little bit of wild arugula leaves. Add some other roasted cherry tomatoes, which adds a little bit of sweetness to it. Really nice, I love this, my favorite. Then I'm going to put some toasted leeks also on this dish. It's going to give a little crunchiness to it. It's going to give it also the toasty, nutty flavor that I like in the dish. And then finally, I'm going to top it with a little shaved Asiago. This is the really nice way to finish it up. That last bite was a taste of cheese and everything like that.
It just looks beautiful.
I'm here at the Bryn Mawr Market Melon Festival. Let's take a look and see what's happening.
First annual Melon Festival. We do lots of different special events, but this is our first Melon Festival. It's a partnership with a trial farm that has grown 100 varieties of melons.
Feature your melon carving from Mr. Art from Hayward.
I just do the demonstration for the watermelon carving. Carve this orange melon. I'm gonna make a rose. This kind of watermelon, they grow up at the special market. They grow up.
They grow right here in the area.
Yes.
And SF Pops, who produced fruit pops made from these exotic melons.
We're here at SF Pops, that's seasonal fruit pops, and we make our popsicles from local seasonal produce sourced right here from vendors at the farmers market.
I'm Dr. Cyrus Thomas. I've been a chiropractor, a nutritionist, and classical homeopath for 34 years. Celiac disease is caused by a reaction to gliadin, which is a prolamine, a gluten protein, found in wheat and includes other common grains such as barley and rye. The prolamines are actually in all of the grains, and people can have inflammatory reactions to any of the grains. Except rice. People don't seem to inflame to rice whatsoever. Now, celiac is only 0.4% of the population, less than 1%. However, when they did studies where they scoped people with cameras and looked at their intestinal walls after they ate different grains, 85% of those tested had visible inflammation from eating grains. We've only been eating grains for 6,000 years, and we've been around a lot longer than that. Everybody's going gluten-free. It's really not a fad. It's been something that has been extremely well studied on rabbits and rats and mice and humans as well. Wheat, we know, has harmful substances in it. It has opioids. It has wheat germ agglutinins. It has gliadin in it. The other grains, barley, rye, even millet and quinoa have opioids in them as well, and prolamines that we can become irritated with as well. When we're healing the intestines, we talk about fasting vacations. When you don't eat for a while, it gives your intestines some time to rest. They don't have to work. It's nice to eat during an 8-hour window and then don't eat for 16 hours. That gives your intestines time to rest. It also gives your liver enough time to metabolize or to change molecules that it doesn't like into safe molecules.